I didn't expect... Lieutenant Krzyzewski. Ah, yes, Mr. Braddock.
Did you know some of the biggest stars in Hollywood were keeping a secret? From legendary actors like Marlon Brando to timeless icons like Marilyn Monroe, these are 35 Hollywood actors who secretly identified as bisexual. You won't believe some of the names on this list. Number 35, Marlon Brando. Hollywood's ultimate bad boy, Marlon Brando lived a life full of passion, both on and off screen. His career spanned over 6 decades, and he was a magnet for controversy. Marlon Brando's career spanned 60 years, and he received many accolades. 2 Academy Awards, 3 BAFTAs, and 2 Golden Globes. During his time on the big screen, Marlon Brando had his fair share of sex with men and women. Brando married 3 times, but reportedly had relationships with Carrie Grant, Montgomery Clift, Sir John Guyland, Rock Hudson, and most noteworthy, James Dean. In 1976, during an interview with Gary Carey, Brando said homosexuality is so much in fashion, it no longer makes news. Like a large number of men, I, too, have had homosexual experiences, and I'm not ashamed. I've never paid much attention to what people think about me. In a 2000 interview with Vulture, producer Quincy Jones declared Brando would gladly have sex with just about anyone. He'd fuck a mailbox. James Baldwin, Richard Pryor, Marvin Gaye.
Jim, nobody thanks you for taking except for yourself. Wait a minute.
Number 34, James Dean. James Dean was an enigma, and his tragic death only added to the mystery surrounding him. Behind his brooding looks was a complicated personal life. James Dean tragically dies as his career started taking off. He'd only made 3 films, but was, and remains, a household name. On September 30th, 1955, the 24-year-old actor died in a car crash. According to Hedda Hopper, a gossip column writer, Dean evaded drafting during the Korean War by kissing the medic. This admission brought up many questions surrounding Dean's sexuality. When asked if he was homosexual, Dean replied, "No, I'm not homosexual, but I am also not going through life with one hand tied behind my back." Rumors had Dean involved in a BDSM relationship with acting legend Marlon Brando. In the book James Dean, Tomorrow Never Comes, biographers Darwin Porter and Danforth Prince wrote they were definitely a couple. Advertising executive Rogers Brackett also claimed to have had a relationship with Dean and stated they were in love.
Such blood! The decoration's hideous and the music a catastrophe.
Number 33, Sybil Thorndike. This legendary British actress was far more than just a stage icon. Her personal life was as colorful as her acting career. Dame Agnes Sybil Thorndike was an English bisexual actress who toured internationally in Shakespearean productions, often appearing with her husband, Louis Casson. Bernard Shaw wrote St. Joan specially for her, and she starred in it with great success. At the age of 21, she was offered her first professional contract, a tour of the United States with the actor-manager Ben Greet's company. She made her first stage appearance in Greet's 1904 production of Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor. She went on tour to the U.S. in Shakespearean repertoire for 4 years, playing some 112 roles. Number 32, Josephine Baker. Josephine Baker shattered barriers on stage, but it was her offstage romances that added another layer to her incredible life. Josephine Baker was the first black woman to star in a major motion picture in Siren of the Tropics in 1927. Baker was an American-born French entertainer, civil rights activist, and French resistance agent. Baker had an affair with Mexican painter, Marxist, and fellow bisexual Frida Kahlo. Number 31, Jack Cassidy. Jack Cassidy was a Broadway star, but his personal life was equally as dramatic as his performances. Jack Cassidy was an American actor, singer, and theater director. He received multiple Tony Award nominations and a win, as well as a Grammy Award, for his work on the Broadway production of the musical She Loves Me. He was the father of teen idols David Cassidy and Sean Cassidy. David Cassidy claimed that his father was bisexual, citing personal accounts and reports, but anecdotal and published, of his father's same-sex affairs. A fact neither he nor his siblings discovered until after Cassidy's death. In her 2013 memoir, Shirley Jones confirms that Cassidy had many same-sex affairs, including one with Cole Porter.
Here comes the car.
Okay, now what then? I'm going to use number 1. Keep your
Number 30, Claudette Colbert. She may have starred in one of the biggest romantic comedies of all time, but her own love life was a different story. The 1934 romantic comedy had happened one night, won 5 Academy Awards, and starred Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert in leading roles. Both Gable and Colbert had their private lives exposed in the tabloids. After she died in 1996, rumors circulated that Colbert was bisexual, even though she had been married twice. The word was that she did not spend much time at home with her husband and had had an affair with Marlene Dietrich.
$150 in gold.
For what lady, sir?
For Mrs. Charles Hamilton.
Number 29, Clark Gable. Known as the King of Hollywood, Clark Gable's career was nothing short of legendary, but his private life held some surprising secrets. Clark Gable, also known as the King of Hollywood due to his immense fame, married 5 times and fathered 2 children. He was a playboy, often making advances on up-and-coming actresses. Although David Brett, biographer of It Happened One Night, later describes Gable as homophobic. He claims when Gable was starting in showbiz, he was gay for pay, doing sexual favors to advance his career.
You serious? Yes, sir. A good idea. Let's take another look.
Number 28, Sir Alec Guinness. While Sir Alec Guinness became a household name for his iconic roles, his personal life remained hidden from public view. Best known for playing Obi-Wan Kenobi in the original Star Wars trilogy, Sir Alec Guinness kept his sexual orientation and his arrest for a homosexual act in 1946 away from the public eye for the entirety of his adult life. It wasn't until after Guinness passed away that his bisexuality was revealed. According to reports by his biographers, however, Guinness's bisexuality had always been known to his family and friends. Number 27. Joe D'Alessandro. Joe D'Alessandro was a symbol of underground culture in the 1960s and 70s, but his bisexuality was just as talked about as his films. Joseph Angelo D'Alessandro III is an American actor and Warhol superstar. He was a sex symbol of gay subculture in the 1960s and 1970s, and several American underground films before going mainstream. D'Alessandro starred in the Andy Warhol-produced film Flesh in 1968 as a male prostitute. Rolling Stone magazine declared D'Alessandro's second starring film Trash as the best film of the year, making him a star of the youth culture, sexual revolution, and subculture New York City art collective in the early 1970s. D'Alessandro is bisexual. He's been married 3 times and has 3 children. Number 26. Gabriella Colette. This literary icon lived her life freely, unconstrained by the conventions of her time. Her relationships were as colorful as her works. Colette was a French author, mime, actress, and journalist who was nominated for a Nobel Prize in Literature in 1948. Colette was most widely known for her 1944 novella, Gigi. One of the many striking things about Colette is truly that she lived her life for herself. She was married 3 times and had relationships with women, sharing her queer identity with the world.
Mr. Neff, why don't you drop by tomorrow evening around 8:30? He'll be in then.
Sure.
Number 25. Barbara Stanwick. Barbara Stanwick was Hollywood's ultimate professional, but her private life was filled with rumors about her true identity. Barbara Stanwick was a very driven person, excelling in her career and receiving numerous accolades during her 60 years of acting. Stanwick was married to both Robert Taylor and Frank Fay. However, both marriages were reportedly lavender marriages set up by the studio to alleviate the lesbian rumors. Speculation turned to her being bisexual. Biographer Axel Madsen claimed she was Hollywood's biggest closeted lesbian. Tallulah Bankhead confirmed they had an intimate relationship, but Stanwick never revealed her sexual orientation.
2 years, and who today has been making a great deal of trouble. Sit down, Tilly.
Number 24. Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy's celebrated career hid a more complicated private life. His bisexuality was kept secret for many years. Spencer Tracy is one of the most memorable actors of the 20th century. He received 9 Academy Award nominations, winning 2. He also won 2 British Academy Film Awards and a Golden Globe Award. Tracy and his wife Luise were estranged, but they never divorced due to his Catholic religion. The couple had 2 children together. Tracy, who was bisexual, successfully hid his sexual preferences for many years until Vanity Fair covered the release of Kate, the Woman Who Was Hepburn, written by William J. Mann in 2016. In the book, Hollywood pimp Scotty Bowers claimed that he serviced Tracy numerous times.
That's not matter.
No, it's not. In this country, we are trying to take it rather more seriously.
Number 23. Charles Lawton. Lawton's commanding presence on screen was matched by a private life filled with secrets about his bisexuality. Charles Lawton was better known as the actor who played Captain Bligh in Mutiny on the Bounty, Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and Henry VIII in The Private Life of Henry VIII, for which Lawton won an Academy Award for Best Actor. But in addition to this work, Lawton made 1 film as a director, the gorgeous masterpiece The Night of the Hunter. The film is undoubtedly a classic today, but was a failure upon release. That's the reason that Lawton only made 1 film. It has one of Robert Mitchum's most chilling performances as a villain. Lawton was married to Elsa Lanchester for most of his life, and he was bisexual. As an actor, it was far too dangerous to his career to not be married. He and Lanchester had a real relationship, and sometimes Lawton, a very kind man, asked for help from a friend in dealing with his wife when she was angry. According to Scotty Bowers in the documentary Scotty Bowers and the Secret History of Hollywood. Number 22. Ethel Waters. A groundbreaking performer, Ethel Waters' relationship were as bold and unconventional as her career. Waters was a singer and actor in the 1920s through the 1970s. She was the first African-American to star in her own television show, and the first African-American woman to be nominated for a Primetime Emmy. In the 1920s, Waters lived with her girlfriend and fellow performer Ethel Williams. They performed together on stage as the 2 Ethels. Number 21. Brad Davis. Brad Davis, known for his intense performances, lived a life filled with personal struggles and hidden bisexuality. By the early 1970s, Davis was acting in off-Broadway plays while studying acting at the Academy of Dramatic Arts. His stage work led to his movie debut and to television shows such as the hit Sybil and the miniseries Roots. His biggest success was in 1978 with the lead role in Midnight Express, where he played Billy Hayes, a young American imprisoned in Turkey for drug smuggling, who won him a Golden Globe Award. Davis contracted AIDS in 1979, apparently from his one-time cocaine addiction. Bisexual in real life, he was deemed a gay film icon for the number of gay-themed plays and films he appeared in, despite the warnings that it could damage his career.
100, sir.
No, I mean $13. That's more than it's worth.
Number 20, Cary Grant. The classic Hollywood icon Cary Grant wasn't just a heartthrob for the ladies. Rumors suggest his romantic interests extended far beyond that. Cary Grant was a good-looking British-American actor famous for his roles in North by Northwest and His Girl Friday. He was known as a ladies' man of the 1930s. However, he wasn't only a ladies' man. Before becoming a star, Grant reportedly lived with Australian costume designer Ori Kelly after being evicted from a boarding home because he couldn't pay his rent. Grant did numerous jobs, including being an escort and a stilt walker. Kelly was 7 years older than the 20-year-old Grant, formerly known as Archibald Leach. The two allegedly had an on-off relationship spanning for decades that was said to be occasionally violent. Catherine Thompson claimed that Grant once threw Kelly out of a moving vehicle during an argument. Grant had 5 unsuccessful marriages, which did not curb the rumors of his sexuality. Number 19, Randolph Scott. The handsome cowboy of Hollywood, Randolph Scott, lived a mysterious life alongside fellow actor Cary Grant. Actor Randolph Scott was dubbed one half of the Merry Bachelors, and Cary Grant was the other half. The two actors met when filming Hot Saturday in 1932. They lived together on and off for 12 years between marriages in Bachelor Hall, a mansion on Los Feliz. Photos of Scott and Grant suggest they may have been more than just friends. They met Scotty Bowers while they were both married. Bowers, a Hollywood pimp, reportedly arranged numerous gay hookups and said that the marital status of the two didn't stop the three of us from becoming very closely acquainted. It makes you wonder just what their acquaintance entailed. Number 18, Clara Bow. Clara Bow, the original It Girl of Hollywood, faced scandal and rumors about her love life that haunted her career. Beautiful Clara Bow was one of the biggest stars of the 1920s, famous for being one of Hollywood's first sex symbols. But by 1931, a series of scandalous rumors had erupted around the movie industry's first It Girl, ruining her career and resigning her to a life of anonymity. The rumors about Bow were shocking and ludicrous, even by today's standards. The Coast Reporter ran a 3-week series about the actress's private life, claiming that poor Clara was an irredeemable alcoholic, a drug user, and a gambler. She was supposedly the mistress of multiple men, had sex in public in threesomes with prostitutes, and would sleep with women when no men were available.
Filing cabinet. Great deal of money to a part-time letter carrier with 50 cents in his
Number
pocket.
17, Farley Granger. Farley Granger's handsome charm graced both stage and screen, but his personal life was equally captivating. Granger was first noticed in a small stage production in Hollywood by a Goldwyn casting director and given a significant role in The North Star, a controversial film praising the Soviet Union at the height of World War II, later condemned for its political position. Another war film, The Purple Heart, followed, with Granger's naval service in Honolulu in a unit that arranged troop entertainment in the Pacific. Here he made useful contacts, including Bob Hope, Betty Grable, and Rita Hayworth. It was also here where he began exploring his bisexuality. His lifelong romance with Shelley Winters was very much a love affair. A briefer affair with Ava Gardner began when both quarreled with their dates at a Hollywood Christmas party. We met at the bar and left together, he recalled. It was a short but pretty intense and enormously fun affair. Granger also had same-sex celebrity affairs. For a time, he lived with Arthur Lawrence, writer of the stage and movie versions of West Side Story and Gypsy. In New York, Granger says he had a 2-night fling with Leonard Bernstein. Since the 1960s, Granger's companion had been Robert Calhoun, who shares the writing credit on Include Me Out.
Unless you can't be a great actress unless you think you're beautiful and you...
Number 16, Luise Brooks. Luise Brooks wasn't just a film icon. Her bold life choices made her a legend, both on and off screen. Luise Brooks was an American actor, dancer, model, showgirl, and silent film actress, noted for popularizing the bobbed haircut. Brooks is best known as the lead in 3 feature films made in Europe, including 2 G.W. Pabst films, Pandora's Box, Diary of a Lost Girl, and Pre-Debutée, Miss Europe. The woman who popularized the haircut was first to admit she was a sexually liberated woman, not afraid to experiment, even posing nude for art photography. Liaisons with many film people were legendary. She cultivated friendships with lesbian and bisexual women and enjoyed fostering speculation about her sexuality. Brooks considered herself neither lesbian nor bisexual, though she did admit to some lesbian dalliances, including a one-night stand with Greta Garbo, whom she later described as masculine but a charming and tender lover.